It all began on May 27, 2016, at the Los Angeles courthouse with a People magazine story. That day, it was a simple divorce case that brought photographers here. A celebrity divorce, such as the tabloid press loves. Actress Amber Heard was in the courthouse. For the past 5 years, she had shared the life of one of the last great Hollywood stars, Johnny Depp. The world's highest-paid actor is best known for his mythical role in the Disney film series Pirates of the Caribbean, and for being the face of luxury brands. After a few hours, the case took an unexpected turn. Amber Heard finally came out of the courthouse.
She did go to court, and she has these bruises.
Bruises on her face. Photos from the court file quickly leaked to the press, as did her deposition, in which she describes an iPhone being thrown at her by Johnny Depp. People, one of the most widely read weekly magazines in the United States, featured the case as its cover story.
People usually get things right, more often than not. They have the actual story. So once it lands there, it's like, oh, this is probably believable.
We weren't yet in a systemic interpretation of violence against women. That's why Amber Heard, at the time, didn't receive much support.
In this month of May 2016, the press was finally moving on. But on social media, the discussions were different. A battle was being waged. Those who believed Amber Heard against those who called into question the bruises and the actress's sincerity. For some Johnny Depp defenders, this story wasn't a light anecdote. On the contrary, it was a symptom of everything they blamed on society, and on women in particular.
Why would JD hit you with an iPhone when he can use his hand?
If Johnny Depp, the epitome of the alpha male, can be taken down, what about me? Why should I even try? It makes me afraid.
They vent their anger online on a discussion site where content moderation is almost non-existent and exchanges are very violent, Reddit. These men, who pour out their hatred of women on a subforum named the Red Pill, belong to a movement deeply rooted online, the masculinists.
Masculinism is a reactionary militancy. It's based on anti-feminist ideologies.
A masculinist is convinced that he's in a dominated position and that he needs to regain his dominant position. That's why masculinism is suffused with belief in conspiracy theories. It's a belief that women are plotting to overthrow them.
Among these masculinists are men with very different profiles. Some are frustrated and withdrawn, while others are more virulist, convinced of being superior to women.
Men and women are not created equal. That's why a man is called a man, and a woman is called a woman.
Enough man-hating, enough pathology, enough bringing disgrace on us as a gender.
So feminism has made women alcoholics. Well, let's back up here. Radical feminism, I think, has made women miserable. I do think there's a link there.
Men sometimes ready to legitimize rape, like English personality Andrew Tate.
I say that women should bear some responsibility for being raped. I'd like to take this time and explain what I was saying in long format video.
Or isolated young men belonging to the community of incels, short for involuntary celibates. Men who are obsessed with punishing women who they hold responsible for their sexual misery, and who are considered a terrorist threat by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Incels are tens of thousands of members, communities of highly active, highly engaged, very social, very constantly communicating. And they know that to win their battle, to make women slaves, sexual slaves, they have to undermine the rights of women more generally. And they do that by spreading misogynist narratives, in particular on social media platforms.
Men sometimes willing to commit attacks targeting women, like Elliot Rodger, who in 2014 posted this video on YouTube before killing 6 people, injuring 14 others, and then killing himself.
If I can't have you, girls, I will destroy you.
I don't think we can understand what's happening at the center of feminist issues, masculinism, etc., if we don't understand that at the heart of the problem, there's the will to impose a relationship of force, physical force, mental force, psychological force, a real will to crush, in fact.
In that autumn of 2017, the masculinists would soon be confronted with a new movement, a never-before-seen wave of feminist protest. October 5th, 2017, an unprecedented movement that would shake up the entire world began in Hollywood.
The new headline tonight involving one of the most powerful figures in Hollywood.
The New York Times alleges that Harvey Weinstein is guilty of decades of sexual harassment.
Many famous actresses came out over the weekend disavowing the Hollywood producer's decades of alleged sexual harassment.
Dozens of women broke their silence for the first time. There were over 80 of them.
It was decades of his misdeeds that had been covered up, not just by the people near him, but that all of Hollywood that were in on this secret.
In the wake of this, on October 15th, actress Alyssa Milano posted a message on her Twitter account.
If you've been sexually harassed or assaulted, write "Me Too" as a reply to this tweet.
In just a few hours, her message went viral and was retweeted on a massive scale.
It's too painful to talk about it. Me too.
Me too.
Me too. Me too.
Millions of women on every continent and in all languages were now publicly revealing what they had often kept silent about, even to their loved ones. They too had been assaulted. They too had been raped. The Me Too movement was born.
Me Too is an historical rupture. We're in history here, in politics.
The women's voice was so strong, so powerful and angry that we couldn't help but be heard.
It's an understanding in a democracy that we can break down the barriers of fear against this chauvinistic and patriarchal domination.
In the United States and in Hollywood in particular, the wave of testimonials led to a wave of firings.
And then this "you can't say anything anymore" speech started. You can't be with women in elevators anymore because you never know what might happen.
For the masculinists, it's a witch hunt.
2017 was a beginning, and it was an extremely important beginning that terrorized the masculinists. In fact, as a sort of defensive reaction, the violence with regard to feminists and women in general, in some respects, increased tenfold after Me Too.
At the same time, on social networks, Amber Heard projected the image of an empowered woman with a booming career and spoke about her feminist commitments.
But our world is changing. Standing shoulder to shoulder as women, we comprise a vast army of voices, and we can no longer accept silence.
Hey everyone, we're here at the L'Oreal. Here we go.
A UN human rights ambassador, she no longer mentioned the case or Johnny Depp's name. A clause in her divorce agreement prohibited her from speaking about it. What she also didn't talk about were the violent attacks targeted against her, particularly in the direct messages of her Instagram account.
Whore, die, bitch,
slut. The Center for Countering Digital Hate, run by Imran Ahmed, was given access to these direct messages.
Every few messages, there'd be an unsolicited death threat, video content, image-based sexual abuse, one-word misogynist abuse, the kind of stuff that no one should have to receive.
Hope you get assassinated, you lying piece of shit.
You're fucking hot like OMG, but you're a bitch for doing Johnny like that fucking cunt.
If someone sends you a video unsolicited of them masturbating over a picture of you, you'd think that at that point, Instagram, if they knew about it, would ban that person. 9 out of 10 times we found they did nothing. It doesn't matter how powerful you are. Those abusers are able to make people feel tiny, terrified. For all their achievements and everything they've done, that what those abusers are communicating is, I can still make you feel like shit. I can still control your fear.
It's a video, right? Yeah.
December 18th, 2018. More than a year after Me Too, Amber Heard, in the middle of promoting the release of Aquaman, a superhero movie in which she had the leading female role, decided to counterattack. She published an editorial in the Washington Post.
I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change.
Amber Heard denounced online harassment and related what she'd been enduring since the first photos were released.
I write this as a woman who had to change my phone number weekly because I was getting death threats.
She never named her ex-husband, but everyone understood who it was about.
I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse.
She never said, Johnny Depp abused me. What she said was, I am a representative of domestic violence, and she did this article about how it's been very difficult for her. She has not been believed. People come after her. Of course, everything she said in the article was true and became even more true after she wrote the article.
Johnny Depp sued Amber Heard for defamation. He denied these accusations. According to him, his ex-wife's words had damaged his reputation and career. A few months earlier, he had already filed a complaint for the same reason against the English tabloid, The Sun, which had asked how a man who beats his wife could still be in the next film in the Harry Potter series.
How can J.K. Rowling be genuinely happy casting wife-beater Johnny Depp?
It was almost like, okay, he's suing everybody now. Because at that point, the lawsuits were flying from him.
For this lawsuit, Johnny Depp relied on his lawyer, a certain Adam Waldman, who he tasked with resolving his financial problems and saving his career already on the decline even before his divorce. With these two lawsuits for defamation, he was seeking to restore his image.
Defamation suits are a basic masculinist technique. That is to say, to defend oneself by accusing the other of wanting to harm one's career, etc. It's really the primary masculinist reflex.
The two upcoming trials gave the anti-Me Too movement the opportunity to go on the offensive. Their aim? To show that one woman was lying in order to deduce that all women are lying. Early 2020. The Depp-Heard affair was no longer front-page news.
The celebrity news cycle is constantly churning. Their divorce at that point had sort of floated on in the river of celebrity news.
Away from the mainstream media, Adam Waldman, Johnny Depp's lawyer, was looking for new channels of influence. He approached certain masculinist YouTubers.
He knows that it'll potentially work because a lot of people already have the reflex to think that the mainstream media are lying and that the little YouTuber is going to be in a position to restore the truth. It's clever. It's a very conspiracy theory approach.
The job of these YouTubers, who hide behind pseudonyms, is to conduct many investigations.
These online masculinist influencers want to restore, quote-unquote, the truth by attempting to lift the veil on what's supposedly being hidden from us in this case.
My goal here is to use these testimonies, various surveillance video clips, hard evidence, and a little common sense to help demonstrate what I believe to be the more likely scenario and situation that occurred that week.
Among these YouTubers is that umbrella guy who dedicated one video a day to the case.
So today, we return to that wonderful world of Johnny Depp coverage.
As well as a certain Brian fella.
Hey everyone. I know it's been a while, but
the man, represented by a cartoon-like drawing, describes himself as an actor, artist, dreamer, and part-time journalist. On his YouTube channel, incredibly average, he uploaded video after video, all dealing with one subject: the injustice suffered, according to him, by Johnny Depp. In this winter of 2020, Brian Fella announced that he had a never-before-seen piece of evidence, one that would definitely prove Amber Heard's guilt.
I think what you're about to watch or listen to is the single biggest and most damning piece of evidence yet.
Embroiled in a toxic relationship, On the advice of their marriage therapist, the two stars recorded their arguments.
Because you start physical fights. Because you start physical fights.
That Brian fella didn't say how he obtained these recordings, but according to him, they proved Johnny Depp's innocence. Only Amber Heard was physically violent.
I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a closed fist.
You get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you.
This video is full of questionable elements. The original recording has been edited. In the video, Depp is presented as a victim who wants the physical violence to stop, and Heard retorts that she can't promise him anything.
There can be no physical violence.
I can't promise you that I'll be perfect. I can't promise you I won't get physical again.
This exchange is a montage, as shown by the official transcript of the discussion later disclosed by the court. In reality, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard both acknowledged violence in their relationship.
There can be no physical violence towards each other.
I agree about the physical violence.
Amber Heard didn't utter the sentence edited in the video until 7 long minutes later.
There can be no physical violence towards each other.
About the physical violence, but I can't promise you that I'll be perfect. I can't promise you I won't get physical again.
A sentence uttered during an exchange where the two actors were attempting to reconcile. But that Brian fella managed to transform the story.
His aim is to restore a relationship of domination to justify restoring a relationship of domination in favor of the man. To make us believe the myth that man is persecuted by women, that man is in essence a victim.
How did the YouTuber obtain these private recordings? The beginning of an answer may be found in this deposition pre-recorded remotely by the American lawyers involved in the actor's defamation lawsuit. Johnny Depp's lawyer, Adam Waldman, acknowledged having communicated with YouTubers.
Have you communicated with a social media user who goes by the name That Umbrella Guy?
I've had several phone calls with the person who goes by the name That Umbrella Guy. I don't actually know his real name.
Have you communicated in a similar fashion with someone on social media who goes by the name That Brian fella?
Yes.
The lawyer acknowledged, without giving any details, having leaked information.
I've provided information episodically to what I would call internet journalists. And I'll define that as journalists who are not affiliated with, you mentioned, I think, NBC a moment ago, or a mainstream media outlet.
This is a classic disinformation technique. The key is to hide who's really behind the release of the information. Because, obviously, if we know that it's Johnny Depp, we'll say that it's intentional. So we'll take it as maybe not being really true, as being biased, and so on.
Very quickly, That Brian fella's YouTube video got hundreds of thousands of views. And on Twitter, the excerpt of the edited exchange was viewed over 2 million times.
She was a liar. She was a manipulator. She was just as bad, if not worse, than whatever she was saying about him.
By releasing confidential information, Adam Waldman managed to circulate a different story on social media. And he continued to sow doubt just a few weeks before the first defamation trial, set to open in London. July 7th, 2020, London, a few weeks after the end of lockdown. Johnny Depp and his lawyer, Adam Waldman, arrived at the courthouse for the first defamation trial, the one filed against the Sun newspaper. While photographers and the tabloid press were present, the mainstream media and public opinion showed no interest in the case.
We said to ourselves, why go and stick our noses into that? It's none of our business. It's private. Private matters aren't political, and so that's where our profession went completely wrong.
But when reactionary spheres overinvest in these things, which seem a bit derisory, it enables them to really score a lot of points.
This is exactly what Johnny Depp's fans were doing, using the trial to garner the maximum support for him. To do this, they used a tool made available to them by Twitter, the hashtag. A keyword preceded by the hash symbol, #JusticeForJohnnyDepp.
And what bad actors know about, they know how these trends work, and they know if they use these hashtags, if they use these words, it will also accidentally push their content into lots of timelines as well.
To boost the movement, #JusticeForJohnnyDepp, the actor's supporters didn't stop there. They brought out another weapon, robots programmed to automatically post messages, bots. According to a study by the analytics service Bot Sentinel, 6,000 bots are believed to have posted the hashtag #JusticeForJohnnyDepp. During the trial, it was used almost 600,000 times. When Amber Heard, called to testify on the stand, spoke outside the courthouse, unlike Depp, she wasn't met with cheers, but with boos.
After obtaining a restraining order in 2016 and finalizing my divorce, I just wanted to move on with my life.
Yet in the English court, the reality was different. On November 2nd, 2020, Johnny Depp lost his libel suit against the Sun newspaper. In its ruling, which was made public, the English court believed, based on several witness testimonies, that the Sun had proven 12 acts of violence by Johnny Depp against Amber Heard.
Mr. Depp assaulted Ms. Heard. This included headbutting her. Mr. Depp also tore out clumps of hair from Ms. Heard's head.
In England, the courts have the right to refuse an appeal. The ruling was implacable, yet it went almost unnoticed.
In this case, even though the decision was in favor of Amber Heard, in reality, it didn't actually change anything in the perception people had of the thing.
I am Andy Signor, and I'm in shock, I'll be honest.
Johnny Depp is absolutely 100% innocent of all of these allegations.
For the masculinists, the victim was Johnny Depp.
What's at play here is a war of narratives and the fact that one narrative or one version of the story can be imposed, no matter what the justice system decides or rules.
April 12th, 2022. A few miles from Washington, in the small town of Fairfax, where the Washington Post is printed, the U.S. court was preparing to judge the defamation complaint brought by Johnny Depp against Amber Heard. 5 years after Me Too, it was the opportunity for the masculinists to destroy one of the founding principles of the movement, which is to believe women.
Every advance in gender equality or women's freedom is always met with resistance. When does this resistance take place? Not in the first 3 days, not in the first 3 months, or the first 3 years when the movement's gaining momentum. It's when you want to contain or even stop the movement.
At the beginning of the trial, the prognosis was that Johnny Depp would lose again.
She said that she was a representative of domestic violence. And what that meant legally was if she proved even one incident of domestic violence, she should win, because then her statement would not be defamatory.
The trial began in a quasi-general indifference, but this time, the U.S. court allowed the trial to be televised, a decision welcomed by the actor's defense team.
Remember, it was a defamation lawsuit brought by him, so it was to his advantage that he be filmed because he wanted to restore his image. He knew his fans would follow the trial on social networks.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Internet.
Welcome, welcome. I know we've got a lot of people here. People are very excited.
We are going to be watching the opening statements in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. And
the actor's supporters, whether they were part of the masculinist movement or not, immediately understood that this live footage, made available to them by the U.S. court, was an unparalleled weapon. A number of them took advantage of this to host live streams on their YouTube channel with invited guests.
Yes, I agree. It does.
Their strategy to sway opinion was to commentate the proceedings and replace the mainstream media, which was absent at the beginning of the trial.
In this vacuum, they understood that they had something to gain, an audience to capture. And so they were the first to stream the live broadcast of this trial and to exploit it continuously for hours on end.
Joining me this morning is that umbrella guy.
Hey there.
How's it going, man?
Oh man, I'm ready for this.
On the first day of trial, on the screen here is Raquetta Law, a YouTuber lawyer from the Midwest, and his guest, the famous That Umbrella Guy, the man who was in contact with Johnny Depp's lawyer.
This thing's supposed to start in 7 minutes, but I don't have a ton of faith that they'll start on time.
The two men have known each other for a long time. They're suspected of having launched anti-Me Too harassment campaigns together.
Hey, there we are. There's the man himself, Johnny D. There's no audio from the court yet, but we do have a picture. That's a nice tie. I like that tie.
It is. I like that ring too, man.
Yeah, which one? The one that? Oh gosh, she's looking.
From the first hours of the trial, the success was immediate. 175,000 viewers were already following Raquetta Law's live stream on YouTube. That's almost as many as for Court TV, the official media channel for live coverage of the trial.
Okay, here we go.
Good morning, Judy. Your Honor, we call Mr. John C. Depp.
All right. Here we go.
Johnny Depp.
On April 19th, the 5th day of the trial, Johnny Depp was called to the stand for the first time.
Because Johnny Depp was able to present his side of the case first, it created momentum for him from the beginning.
For the YouTubers, this was a historic and crucial moment.
Good afternoon.
Can you please tell the jury why you're here today?
Yes. About 6 years ago, Ms. Heard.
Thousands of other Americans were attempting to follow the trial. And by typing Depp Heard Trial, they easily came across the channels of masculinist YouTubers recommended by the YouTube algorithm.
There's a tactic of putting out a ton of information in order to dominate search results. So when you search for Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial on social media, you're more likely to find negative content because those who are organizing on behalf of Johnny Depp or whomever have already flooded the zone.
As a result, thousands of people were viewing content made by masculinists. Thousands of people potentially influenced without realizing it.
There were all of a sudden all these people on social media who were digesting that 8 hours of court testimony or however long it was any given day. They were digesting it and bringing it back to people who get their news from social media.
With Johnny Depp on the stand, his supporters had already managed to incorporate a whole community, and the trial was only just beginning.
What happened?
April 21st, 2022.
We're not even fighting this morning. All I did was say sorry.
Did something happen to you this morning? I don't think so.
At the trial, to prove the actor's violence, Amber Heard's lawyer showed this video filmed by the actress in which we see a very angry Johnny Depp at home pour himself a glass of wine one morning.
Oh, you're crazy. Are you crazy?
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this going? You got this going?
I just started it.
Oh, really? Really?
This video is shocking. It's violent. It's a document that goes even beyond this case, which again has a potentially symbolic value with regard to violence.
During the trial, they wanted to verify that he drunk a mega pint, so a pint of wine before being violent with Amber Heard.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint.
Yeah.
I poured myself a large glass of wine.
Right.
I thought it necessary.
On social media, Johnny Depp's testimony was reposted on a massive scale.
There's a possibility of that. It's a mega pint.
Yeah.
In minutes, pro-Depp activists turned an incriminating element against the actor into something in his favor and made it a subject of ridicule.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint. A mega pint.
Yeah.
A mega pint. A mega pint.
Yeah.
We see Johnny Depp saying mega pint, and this triggered hundreds of millions of views because everyone was doing lip syncs to this quote.
Mega pint became an expression.
A mega pint of red wine.
A mega pint.
And even a consumer item.
What we also see is the power of mockery through an episode like that. It's a way of effectively sweeping away the horror of the situation, but also sweeping away, I think it's really important to say, the moral stance towards violence.
Welcome, good logic and legal mindset. Nice to have you guys here.
Already the day before, the actor's supporters had taken delight in another episode related in the tabloids.
What was the photograph of Mr. Depp?
Yes.
Say it. Say it.
That of excrement found in the couple's bed.
It was a
You can't. There's no way to
photograph of the bed, and on my side of the bed, was human fecal matter.
Johnny Depp maintained that it was deposited there by his ex-wife. Amber Heard claimed that the dogs were responsible for it. Immediately after, on social media, mockery against Amber Heard turned into a phenomenon.
Human fecal matter.
Amber Heard became Amber Turd.
Mr. Depp had his...
Others used every sentence uttered by him during the trial to render Johnny Depp likable.
Isn't happy hour anytime?
It was nonstop. And then you go on social media and, you know, all these Depp and Heard hashtags were trending every single day.
Opinion was beginning to sway. 2 weeks into the trial, anyone who dared defend Amber Heard now came under attack. For video game developer Brianna Wu, herself a victim of coordinated online attacks, this had an air of déjà vu.
I knew it was going to be really bad. I thought it was going to be a shit show, to be honest with you.
So on April 21st, 2022, she decided to post a tweet to raise awareness about the harassment campaign.
We've seen the Johnny Depp-Amber Heard harassment pattern before.
Brianna Wu knows all about this mechanism of online hate. In 2014, she saw the internet rise up against her and endured unprecedented cyberbullying. Her story is archetypical of the online hate experienced by women.
They sent me death threats. They sent me rape threats. They threatened to kill my dog. They took my game studios, reviews, and sabotaged them.
The reason for this was that she was one of the first to call for more equality in the video game industry and to denounce sexist attacks.
It was one of the first successful campaigns that really showed the potential for disaffected young men to harass, intimidate, and upend the lives of women on the internet.
For the first time on social media, the stalkers behind the campaign against Brianna Wu sought out confidential information about their victim. Information that they then published online. A harassment technique called doxing.
Guess what, bitch? I now know where you live. You and Frank live at...
That's been my cell phone, my email addresses, my license plate numbers, my home address, my bank account, you know, my entire posting history online. You just release it out there and hope that it's basically meant to intimidate people. The
harassment she's endured since 2014 is still ongoing. It increased even with the Depp-Heard trial when she raised the alarm on April 21st.
It was really hard for me to see women I cared about that had spoken out in favor of Amber Heard just get beaten down. Every day, their Twitter is war. They're DMing me privately saying, I'm getting rape threats, I'm getting death threats, I'm getting doxxed. It was very similar to Gamergate. And with the Amber Heard thing, even I was like, just be judicious about what you say. Do you really need death threats and rape threats again? And it honestly had a very silencing effect on me.
On social media, Amber Heard supporters became increasingly rare. And Johnny Depp supporters were going to find an even more powerful new ally. April 22nd, 2022.
She's an actor. Do you honestly think she would have left her apartment ever without makeup? Do you think that she ever would have wanted other people to see her bruises and her cuts?
The presentation at the trial of a makeup kit by Amber Heard's lawyer sent the social networks into a frenzy and went viral.
This is what Amber carried in her purse for the entire relationship with Johnny Depp.
The lawyer used this Milani brand makeup kit for the purpose of her demonstration. But the kit she showed wasn't the actual one used by Amber Heard.
The lawyer wasn't talking about that precise kit. But imagine, if you will, Amber Heard being forced to wear makeup using this type of kit. At the trial, it wasn't even an issue. Nobody picked up on it.
Yet it was this makeup kit episode that completely shifted opinion. On that April 22nd, the Milani makeup brand posted a video on TikTok.
I'm an international super spy.
According to the cosmetics company, the kit wasn't on the market at the time of the actress's allegations. The brand's video thus suggested that Amber Heard had lied.
The brand made a TikTok video to explain that this kit hadn't been marketed until 2017, whereas the facts related by the lawyer dated from 2016.
This TikTok video generated 5.7 million views. Siding with Johnny Depp meant attracting the goodwill of millions of internet users and young people, thus potential buyers.
Amber Heard's clarification didn't change a thing.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about as a color correction kit. This is not obviously the exact one I used to carry.
In everyone's eyes, she became a liar. And Johnny Depp became the victim.
A makeup brand has caught Amber Heard in a lie. Oh my God.
On TikTok, reactions against the actress were posted one after the other and played on a loop.
Amber Heard just got exposed in another big lie from her court case with Johnny Depp.
What do you think?
Very quickly, the video was picked up by the mainstream media as actual news, as if it represented a major plot twist in the trial.
I do.
After the kit episode, the general public was convinced that Amber Heard was a liar, especially the younger ones on TikTok. It was in this context that on May 4th, 2022, the actress was called to the stand.
I struggle to find the words to describe how painful this is. This is horrible for me to sit here for weeks and relive everything.
From the first seconds of her televised testimony,
Yes, it's Amber Laura Heard.
Amber Heard's every gesture, every sentence served as pretext to humiliate her.
That's correct.
When she described the physical abuse she said she received from Johnny Depp, she was called a liar.
I was walking out of the bedroom, slapped me across the face. I turned to look at him, and I said, Johnny, you hit me.
When she blew her nose, she was suspected of snorting cocaine in the middle of a trial. In just a few short hours, TikTok was flooded with anti-Heard videos parodying her. To create their parody videos, like the cocaine one, most of them used a tool made available by the platform, the original sound button.
On TikTok, content with sound is pushed a lot more, as the soundtrack works like a hashtag. You have your TikTok video frame, and underneath it, you have the sound used. You click on it, and it takes you to all the videos that use that sound.
The next thing I remember, I always been over backwards on the bar, meaning my chest was up. I was staring at
On May
the
5th,
lights.
anti-Amber Heard hatred on TikTok reached its peak. That day, she described the marital rape she claimed she'd endured.
I felt this pressure. I felt this pressure on my pubic bone. He said he was punching me.
She claimed that Johnny Depp had raped her with a bottle of vodka, which he denied. In response, he claimed that it was Amber Heard who'd thrown a bottle at him, cutting his finger. Amber Heard's version was immediately ridiculed.
This is hilarious, y'all. I can't do this.
Again, the soundtrack of her voice was isolated, then taken over by thousands of TikTok users around the world.
The jury again, boom.
Johnny had the bottle inside of me. Johnny had the bottle inside of me. Johnny had the bottle inside of me. Johnny had the bottle inside of me.
The machine was already up and running, and in fact, what happened was we had 14-year-olds making TikTok videos in their rooms, imitating Amber Heard crying as she related incidents of domestic violence.
After her testimony, Amber Heard became one of the most hated women in America.
She embodied many things that, in the collective imagination, weren't good. She's the archetypical ice-cold blonde, for example. She probably also hit Johnny Depp. She said some things that were revealed at the trial that were not okay, and that no one, particularly the feminists, denies. But people have a very Manichaean view of what a good victim of violence should be, and she didn't fit that image.
At the time when public opinion was turning against Amber Heard, Nina Yankovic, who had just published a book about online harassment of women, received an appointment in Joe Biden's administration.
The way that Amber Heard was treated and continues to be treated is something that has weighed on me.
As part of the Department of Homeland Security, her newly created board was tasked with combating disinformation and online targeted attacks. But almost as soon as she took office, the men she targeted rose up against her. More than 8 months pregnant, she became the victim of coordinated online attacks.
Damn your garbage, but those titties though, damn.
You're a cum dumpster for Joe Biden, aren't you?
Nina Yankovic is perpetuating lies and treason. She will pay the price.
People just dug into my personal life, tearing apart my appearance. In one tweet, I would be, characterized as a tranny, and in the next tweet, someone would say, I would love to see those red lips around my cock. A lot of men will say to me, oh, get out of the national security business and go make babies.
It's how you hide a little lie.
Faced with the political stakes and the violence of the attacks, the board was put on pause by the Biden administration just 3 weeks after its creation.
It was all torn down because people are afraid to speak up in the face of these attacks. And there's very little recourse, both in the government, both in the social media platforms, which very rarely can respond to these attacks. I've had a lot of people tell me, well, it's just politics. Most of the people who tell me that are men. I don't think they've ever had anyone talk to them about their reproductive status or what their hair looks like, how big their breasts are.
The government thus suspended the fight against misinformation and online harassment. And Nina Yankovic resigned from the government board. At the same time, in Fairfax, the Depp-Heard trial was coming to an end.
I think it just shows that as a woman claiming that you've been wronged in the public sphere, you're always going to be at a disadvantage, even if you're a famous, somewhat wealthy woman. You're always going to be the underdog in the public eye.
Okay.
June 1st, 2022.
And it goes to the clerk.
Looks like she's now approved it. I got my mega pint ready. Oh my God.
Is this the verdict of the jury?
Yes.
All right, is it
Here we go.
unanimous? Thank you, sir. Jamie?
Come on, 50. Oh, man, here we go.
Please, God, let it read it.
In civil case number CL 2019.
After a 7-week trial, Raquetta Law, That Umbrella Guy, and other masculinists were readying themselves for the verdict.
Answer, yes.
Yes, it's false! Oh my God, he won! Oh my God! Oh!
At each count judged in favor of Johnny Depp, they exulted.
As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million.
Yes!
We, the jury.
The Depp-Heard trial was a godsend for the masculinists because it proved to them that the feminist conspiracy existed and that women could be liars.
It's a great day for men.
Oh my God.
Great day for male victims.
Oh my God.
The precedent that it sets for the women that come after is not a good one. It's going to continue to make, rape victims and other victims of different sorts of misogynistic treatment throughout our country less likely to come forward and less likely to seek justice because of what happened.
The actor's first gesture was to open an account on TikTok to thank his supporters. His video triggered more than 10 million likes and hundreds of thousands of comments. Johnny Depp, who has denied any acts of violence against Amber Heard, emerged from the trial as a hero. And on social media, the accounts of his masculinist supporters have never been more popular.
If you are a parent of a young boy, I really urge you, go and look at what they are consuming online, because there are Twitch channels, YouTube channels, podcasts, Reddit communities. They're all dedicated to taking young men and radicalizing them. And I think it's a really scary time to be a parent.
For the first time since the start of Me Too, as the masculinist voice is growing stronger, a question arises. Does this verdict mark the end of the movement?
This trial has removed the inhibition of voicing a reaction to Me Too, of voicing doubt about a woman's word, as well as reaffirming the stance that feminists go too far.
What does that tell us? It tells us that it's not simply that there's a chronology where you have progress, then regression, then progress, then regression. It's a permanent battle, in fact, with, of course, moments when the battlefield is particularly violent.
A battle that was organized on a massive scale on social media, to which the Fairfax jury had access.
It's tough. The jury is not supposed to look at the media. They're not supposed to look at social media, but of course they do. If they knew about this massive imbalance of support for Johnny Depp and ridicule for Amber Heard, for them to rule for her, they have to know that everyone's going to hate them, everyone's going to disagree with them. Social media has a big impact on all of us.
Could social media platforms prevent such a flood of disinformation and manipulation?
I think what the Heard-Depp trial proved once and for all is that the way the social media platforms work right now will always give the advantage to misogyny and to hatred of women.
I think that we can laugh and we can have civil discourse that's, edgy and pushes the envelope and is skeptical, but there's something about, individuals' humanity that has to be safeguarded and left on the table, and that has to be, our right to live without fear, whether we're speaking out or whether we're walking on the sidewalk, and that's what's at stake here.
Johnny Depp's lawyers didn't accept our request for an interview. Since the end of the trial, the actor has returned to the film sets. As for Amber Heard, it's believed she now lives under a false name in Spain, far from Hollywood.